Hi, this is Dr. Maggie Perry with Tell Me What You're Proud Of. I'm here for the third session with Danielle. She has listened to my consultation with Ken Goodman, and now we're just going to talk about her impressions. So Danielle, thanks so much for being back on the show.
Thank you.
So tell me what your impressions were when you listened to our consultation.
Well, the first, I listened to it twice, and the first time, the first half, I just like cried because I felt so like heard. I felt like, I don't know, he was so compassionate towards me or something, and it just felt validating to hear that every time he said, I'll bet she can handle more than she thinks, or that kind of statement, it just made me cry, like kind of like, happy sad tears.
Can you say more about that?
Yeah,
To you.
because the trauma it's one part of it, and it's a huge part of it, obviously. Having listened to Ken's thoughts, I know that I have both, and that I need to work on both, and it's gonna be hard to kind of tackle, because I don't know which one to tackle first, or to tackle both of them at first. But I definitely have, this. My mom was so sick, and I have a subconscious. My body remembers, right? The body keeps the score. I don't have intrusive memories of my mom being sick, and so that kind of trauma I don't need to kind of work on, but definitely my body still remembers the fear, and my body is definitely making the connection between my mom then and the inability I had to handle it. Absolute inability. I could not drive her to the hospital. I could not drive myself to school. I didn't have a job or money when I was 9 and 10 years old. So my mom she was my, it was just a very real feeling of lack of safety. She was supposed to be the safety person for me, and she wasn't. And so just to have that validated, like, that felt good. And I love his idea of writing out retelling my story and then having it change the ending, where an adult me comes in and kind of says, let's have this go differently. I love that. That was really touching, and I think I'd like to try that.
Sounds like a great idea. That is trauma work then. That's one way to approach your trauma.
Yeah, but like I said, I don't have intrusive memories of, like, I don't have like flashbacks in that sense, but I just have the kind of like, for example, last night I couldn't sleep. I just kept imagining that I was hearing my son cry in the next room. I literally just laid in bed, just imagining that he was crying and imagining that he was sick for just hours. So it's hard. The fear that my body feels is really intense, and I definitely need to deal with that. But I also have, yeah, go ahead.
Just to say a little bit more about that, the connection between your mind and your body is so powerful that the belief that makes you cry around, like, your mind and your body can handle more than you think it can, is probably tied to that also. And that, in that sense, part of your trauma work is cognitive, because it's that shift to, like, that was then, this is now, I can handle what I couldn't handle before.
Yes, and I need to say that, like I think Ken mentioned, I need to say that over and over until I believe it, because there are so many ways in which I am more capable now, and my son does not have a mysterious illness, right? He's a completely normal kiddo who's going to get normal sicknesses. I mean, obviously anything could happen in the future, heaven forbid, but my mom had a very mysterious and rare disease, and my son does not. And so there are so many ways in which today is different than it was when I was little, but I just do not believe that I can handle it. And I know that I can. I think at one point you said that, I'll bet when he is sick, she's fine. And that's right. And I feel best when he is sick. So I'm like, oh, I was expecting much worse. I can handle this. And then that high, I kind of ride for a couple weeks until I start to fear again that what about next time? Am I going to be able to handle it next time?
Well, that's where the trauma and the OCD are kind of dancing together.
Mm-hmm.
Because the what if I can't handle it next time, I would consider an OCD intrusion. But the thought action fusion you have around that, so having that thought feels like it's true, is then playing off your trauma belief that you can't handle a loved one being sick. So
Mm-hmm.
your OCD says, what if I can't handle it? And your traumatized mind says, oh, right, remember we couldn't handle it?
Mm-hmm.
And then it seems like that OCD thought is a threat.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think just for so many years, I got used um, to just waiting for the shoe to drop. And what was my mom going to be sick tomorrow? What about the next day? The next day, the next time that she was sick, was she going to die that time? And then I think my brain got trained to just kind of expect or fear uncertainty and disaster for so long that I just need to make different brain pathways.